either, because that's where we learn to be better. Right.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of people are trying to go back and erase these things that happened. Well, if you erase these things that happen, you also erase the lessons that we've learned so that we don't do it again.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I feel like they're acting worse now than they did. You know, like I have letters. I have 53 letters between my great grandparents when he was serving in the Civil War, and it was like, you know, he was cold. He got over the mumps. He was sick. Nobody was paying him, and he's like, "Have faith. Everything's gonna be okay." You know, like we just gotta, you know, fight. Yeah, and he came back home and then lost his wife and 5 kids to diphtheria over a 2-week period, and it's like, holy shit! Like the people today don't know what suffering.
No,
you know, at
Yeah.
all.
No.
Yeah.
We were completely blindsided by this COVID thing, and to be honest, compared to historical viruses, it's a drop in the bucket, and we're all panicking. So it's I don't know, it's interesting, but
we turned into pussies. No.
yeah, exactly.
Fought for.
The grocery stores are closed. I'm gonna die.
I know, right?
No, well, we didn't have to resort to cannibalism, so we must have fared well.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. I ate my neighbor.
High five you. That's great.
Oh goodness. All right. So I got a. Have you thrown your second article, Maddie?
I didn't. You can throw yours out because I kind of just, segued there a little bit.
Okay. All right. So my article actually is a little bit of tie-in to your last article, Matt.
Oh, do you want me to go first then?
Well, no. What I mean by your last article, I mean so the title of this, and you're gonna love this because if you were ever a Seinfeld fan, you're gonna instantly think of what I did.
I know.
The title on this is "Man Found with Dead Fish Up His Bum Claimed He Accidentally Sat on It."
Yeah, of course.
I was gonna go with Ass Man, but that one was way better.
I mean, what else would you say?
What doctor?
I tripped, fell, and then landed on the fish.
It perched up there. I mean, come on. That joke, okay.
Now, at least he didn't go through the whole rigmarole of being tested and having surgery just to admit it eventually, right?
Good point. Good point.
And they scanned him, and basically, the 30-year-old patient had traveled to Zhuangqing First People's Hospital in Guangdong, China, on the 3rd of June after complaining of abdominal pain. Sounds familiar. This one, though, is he basically had a series of CT and X-ray scans, and they found the source of the problem, a freshwater fish. When asked by the understandably baffled nurses how it got here, the man claimed he had accidentally sat on it.
Yeah.
To which one medic reportedly replied, "Do you think I'm an idiot?"
I accidentally put some worms on my bum. I accidentally put my bum in the water, and then a fish accidentally swam up to get the worms.
You know the lie is just like snowballing.
Seriously, like when the wind blows, does his ass like go like a jug, like whoo? Because like there's no, you can feel a pinky up your butt, like a fish,
right?
Right, and you should see the picture of this fish. It's quite large.
Oh no!
The size of someone's hand.
I bet it was a sex fetish thing. Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
He couldn't find any gerbils.
No, but that probably needed it.
The grim footage of this, though, is they basically found that the creature's spiny fins had caused rupture in his large intestine, and there's like this footage of the removal procedure where you could see all the surgeons all of a sudden start gagging.
Oh,
because it was so horrendous.
Oh man!
I can look it up after the show.
Yeah, we gotta link the video.
Yeah, exactly. And the X-ray is quite interesting when you see the fish up around his pelvis, but like high, like towards the spine.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
So it was a Mozambique tilapia, and these things can grow up to 40 centimeters in length. Now, they didn't actually say how long this particular fish was, but based on the scan, it was pretty hefty. in the end, this man is, of course, is healing up and living his good old life as it should be. Hopefully, keeping away from fish.
Well, you know,
He's banned from the aquarium.
The other end.
what happens when you date somebody? I like to Google people when I date them, you know, and it's like, what would you do if that came up with the person that you're dating?
Ass fish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Gosh.
Would you put things around your house just seeing if he accidentally sits on them?
No, I call Jeremy Wade, dude. Like, I'm not. He has a show that with the monsters, the fish or whatever river monsters. I'd be like, dude, this is just as fucking weird as your shit. Okay, it's just a different river.
Quit eyeing my fish tank. Right on.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
All right, so this isn't funny, but well, it's a little ironic. But so I came across this article, and I was like, "Holy shit, that actually makes sense." So apparently, remember how back in like 2012 they made a movie about it and everything, the world was supposed to end based on the Mayan calendar?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so apparently these people went back and did the math because they forgot to talk about how the Gregorian calendar doesn't line up with our calendars today, so we're missing days. So from the time the calendar was created in 1752 to 2020, that you basically miss 11 days out of that calendar, which ends up, if you do the math on it, being 2,948 days, which turns into about 8 years by our calendar, which means that actually this week is the week that the world was supposed to completely go to shit by the Mayan calendar. And I was like, with everything happening, maybe they're not that far off.
No, it's math, man. Math fucks everything up, and then they change the way how you do it now, too. And so it's like...
yeah,
that's what
show my work.
Forget to carry the two.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm the fucking teacher, and this is so stupid, especially because I like half the time I hear my kids going, Siri, can you what's this plus this, or Alexa, and I'm like, Siri, you know, with iPhone and everything else, these kids don't, and I can't add anyways, so you know, I just I freaking hate it. So if the professionals and experts can screw up when the end of the world is, just add on another, you know, few years. Like,
exactly. Plus 8.
Remember
apparently.
the episode number. He's like, you always add one, right? So that's probably what we just need to do.
Exactly. No, you know, it's funny that you say that because I was working with, so my 12-year-old was doing math homework and he was doing multiplication, and he's like showing me this question and asking me how to answer it and stuff. And I show him kind of the way, and he's like, oh, that's way different than how I learned. I'm like, oh, well, show me how you learned and maybe I can adapt, you know, meet you halfway. And he shows me his fucking math homework, and they're like drawing like 30 boxes to get. I'm like, what the shit is that? That is way more complicated than just cross multiplying. And I'm just like, why change a good thing? Was the answers wrong before? Is this more accurate?
No, it's just, you know, I think that they're just trying to make people, it's like, okay, instead of you guys just going into like Ontario, you're going to have to drive to Florida and then come back up. You know? Like,
so that I can show how my trip went.
Who shows their work in life, right? Like 2 + 2 is 22 in most people's books these days because nobody knows. And I'm one of them. It's like, I just put it into my phone. I mean, why would you add 15 miles of work when like we have all this technology and no one's going to need it? I don't know. It's so dumb to me. And I mean, I was teaching the percentages and I'm like, I was a waitress for years. This is how you do it fast. I don't care what the teacher says because I graduated with them. So it's like, it's like 13th grade there for all my friends with teachers. So I'm like, I don't understand. We didn't learn this way.
And isn't the whole point of efficiencies based on finding the correct answer in the fastest way possible?
Well, Maddie, you're looking for common sense here. It's 20.
I guess. Yeah. Good point.
I mean, they could teach them how to do taxes too, but what do they need that for?
Good point. Yeah.
Maybe actually that they could use.
Yeah. Right. Nope. Because then they'll actually contribute to society and be part of the solution.
I said that they should have been teaching people how to do their taxes in like grade 10.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
nobody. I mean, algebra is so. Who puts letters and numbers together? Like that to me is, like the devil's work. So,
that's a devil's
and I've
work.
never used it. And I've gone to Oxford and I've gone to Harvard, and I'm not. Nobody gives a shit normally. So it's like I'm not trying to show off, but it's like if I couldn't add, but yet I could still do all that. I'm okay with that.
Right?
Yeah. The whole point
Amazing.
is for you to get high enough in a job that you have someone else do that for you.
Oh yeah, you start your
Oh,
own company and you hire an
that's how it
accountant.
works. I love it.
Great.
What
That's
do you
why
got, Tony?
people who love doing that. Well, so that is officially the end of probably our funny news. Now, I do want to bring something up because we don't normally talk about this, but given our guest today, it might be something worthwhile. Now, I'm not sure if you've actually heard about this, but SpaceX is now offering, or they're looking for beta testers to check out their new internet service. If you've ever thought about a different form of internet service, apparently Elon Musk's company SpaceX has launched something like 540 Starlink satellites into orbit. Now they apparently cause quite a creative low level high speed internet service from the atmosphere, and it's supposed to be great, like an all new kind of broadband that's going to be available, where or give access to people with the internet who don't normally have access to things.
No.
Now, I guess personally, let's be honest. Where I am, I still even feel my internet service isn't as good, and the more we become tech savvy, the more we want faster speeds. Now, the funniest thing about this whole article, when you get to the end of it, you do get the naysayers, right? The space and NASA and everybody who are like, well, this would be great and everything, but all those satellites up there will potentially block telescopes from potentially seeing asteroids coming into Earth.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you have that, right? It's like a side
And I'm
effect. Explosive
Well,
diarrhea. It's like,
if an asteroid is coming into Earth at this point, I don't see it that way. I see it as we now have a safety net around us.
yeah, right. Seriously, it'll ricochet off of that. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. You're
We're
gonna have to
gonna-
blow through 600 satellites to get to us, asteroid.
I'm
right?
not worried about it.
And we're gonna have great internet service, so we'll see it coming that way.
There you go.
Good
See,
point.
positive. See, if more people were like you, this world would be a better place.
Fine.
What, Canadian?
Whatever it is, positive. But yeah, that about. I mean, man, it gets me every time. I just love it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yep. We
Go off.
I think find positive aspects throughout things. I mean, let's be honest, everything's kind of shitty as it is. So if you don't try to have some type of great outlook towards it, or at least see that silver lining, you might as well just curl up into the fetal position and die. Like, why are you going to live your life miserable, or living your life in fear? Like, I could live, or I could be worried that I'm going to step out and get hit by a bus every day, or I could live my life on the fact that it probably won't happen.
You betcha.
My God, I hope I don't get hit by a bus tomorrow. So.
Honestly, dude, a positive attitude is all just about perspective.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And how you react and respond to things. I mean, that's the whole reason why I'm on your show, is because of that.
Well, we're awesome.
Yeah, well, it wasn't always awesome. I was an asshole. That's for damn sure. But you live and learn. But we'll get into that.
We're all about personal growth.
Exactly. Progress. Love it.
So, Stacey, let's talk about you and what you do, so that our listeners can get to know you a little bit more.
Okay. So I am a producer. I'll start from when I first started as a producer about a little over 5 years ago. I had just gotten out of the broadcast industry, and at that point in time, I was a widowed single mom of 2 boys, and I quit my full-time comfy job with benefits, and I decided I was going to go out and either start my own business and find my place. And I mean, it was crazy looking back on it, but it was the best thing I ever did. So I got hired to do PR for this film called 100 Acres of Hell. and it stars WWE superstar Gene Snitsky. Clerks